Hey y'all, welcome back to the Untacked Podcast, where we give you the latest in equestrian chick-chat and small-town stories. My name's Savannah.
Gina, Larock.
I'm Yvette.
And I'm Mariko.
And this is Untacked.
Good job.
You're a natural.
Good job.
You're a total natural.
If we ever need someone to cover us, we got Gina.
Yes.
Perfect.
I love our patriotic theme tonight, by the
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Dude, she beat us all.
I know, she did. So we're here to talk about Day of the Cowboy. And we have our special guest, Gina, here to share with us a little bit about our Day of the Cowboy drill team. But for those of you that don't know what Day of the Cowboy is, we thought we would start off with a little bit of an introduction of what Day of the Cowboy is in general, and then also what it is to Norco. So in this day, we celebrate the cowboy.
The cowboy and the cowgirl.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
Mostly cowgirls, because there's more cowgirls than cowboys, I might beg to argue.
Now there is. But back in the day, it was more cowboys, and it was just celebrating, their heritage, their way of life, basically.
And then Norco is our hometown, and it's a small little, how many square miles? 10,000 square miles? I don't know. 20,000 people. Less than 20,000 residents. So Norco's our small town, though. And in this small town, we celebrate Day of the Cowboy on this specific day through the city. It's a city-run event. And it's hosted with a rodeo. Because you've actually been involved, even prior to Day of the Cowboy, doing drill. You've probably been going to this rodeo for years, or what was event versus rodeo.
It started out as just like a community event to where it was a bunch of people from Norco would come up and they could do competitions. They could do cattle sorting, obstacle course, little gymkhana events like your barrel racing or your pole bending, ribbon race. They had cow chip contests. They had stuff for little kids where they had stick barrel racing, and I think it was the boot contest. The boot race is what they called it. And it was just a fun day, and there was more people on the ground on horseback doing stuff than there was actually in the audience. Although there was an audience, but it was mostly family and friends.
But everybody mostly participated.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question.
It was packed up there. And
Do they still do the boot race?
They do. They still do that at the beginning. Right now, they changed it after 2020 COVID. Ted Hoffman turned it into an actual rodeo to help bring more people in, and but they still have at the beginning events for the kids. Like the cow chip contest, the stick barrel racing, and the boot race. They still have that for the kids.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun, but it's changed over the years.
Yeah, it really has. Even with just attendance alone, I think in coming to it changing over to a rodeo versus when it used to just be more of like these events that the community members were participating in, which is similar to Horse Week. So we did a Horse Week episode, and for our viewers that have seen it, they know that Horse Week is where the community comes together to do equestrian related events.
What's different about than Horse Week is it allowed the community to come up, and they might never have done anything before, like they've never chased a cow, or they never did an obstacle race or tried barrel racing, and it was a first for them. So it gave them the opportunity to actually do that and try it out. And it was a competition, so there was prizes to win, but it just gave everybody a chance to try that. Where Horse Week, some, they were pretty much done the stuff before.
Yeah.
Where this is where anybody can come up and just do these events, which was pretty cool.
That is really cool. I love that too.
I hope they bring that back.
Have to say the rodeo has been great. A lot of people like the rodeo, but I have to say I have gotten a lot of people comment how they miss the old days where it used to be, all those events, the fun day. They miss that.
They should just incorporate, not take out the rodeo, but just incorporate all the other things too.
It might have to be a 2-dayer then.
Hey, I'm here for it.
I'm
I'm
here
here for the good time. I'm in it.
Yeah, but that's something that, we could bring up to the city.
Right?
So,
Totally.
yeah.
So how did you get involved with Day of the Cowboy?
Well, I was recruited. Berwin, who started it, and Ted, they wanted 50 flag riders. Imagine trying to get
Sign me up.
50 flag riders, with most of them never even done this before. And he wanted us all to carry the state from the 50, the 50 states, each one of us to carry
really
a flag.
cool, though.
We did it. It wasn't easy. So they were recruiting. So I just said, I want to do it. So, and I got my drill team that I had. We all went. So we got everybody to go do this. And it was hard for Berwyn to get 50 riders.
Yeah, sure, especially that could carry a
Was
flag.
it Main Attraction that did it?
Main Attraction. That was a drill team that I had. And so we had that, but we were small. So that wasn't going to cover enough. And I think, other drill teams did it. And the community came out and did it. But the problem is not every horse could carry the flag, because that's kind of a scary thing. And then Berwyn wanted us to run. He would call each state, and we would run around the arena, just like you would at a rodeo.
Yeah.
Run
So they
flags.
weren't all inside the arena at the same time?
No, it started out one at a time. We
That's a
would
long
run
time.
around and come out. And we do all 50. They would call the states out, and you do all 50.
That's
And I
so
was
cool,
Florida.
though.
That is
Because
great.
that's where I'm from. So I carried the Florida flag. So and everybody wanted to carry their state flag.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of cool. And we did it, and we got through it. Wasn't easy. And we did that for a couple of years. And then Berwyn was like, all right, I've had enough of this.
I don't want to announce all these states.
And it was really hard getting 50 riders, and we didn't always have 50 riders because there was always something happened. Something happened with the horse or the rider, and they couldn't do it. And so then you'd have to have someone else, they would carry a flag, and then they have to go carry the other flag and go around because we couldn't get 50 riders. So then Berwyn just said, all right, I don't want to do this anymore. How about you, Gina, and you, Margie? It was Margie Matthews at the time. Can you guys just kind of run this thing and do whatever you want to do? And so we're like, okay. So me being the drill captain, I go, well, instead of just running around with a flag, what if we just do a little drill, like a follow the leader, something easy drill that everybody in the community can learn? And that's what we did, and that's how we started. And we had, probably 40-something riders doing a drill.
Oh my God, I
sounds
love
so
that.
And it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we would all post at the end, and then the queens would come in and do their run, and then then they would, start the national anthem and all that kind of stuff. And so we did that for several years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so had a few accidents here and there, because you get 40-something
It
riders
happens to the
in
best
there
of us.
trying to
It
do
happens,
drills.
Yeah.
And so then we started cutting back of number of riders because the city wasn't liking the accidents that were happening.
Let's play it safe.
Yeah, we had to play it safe. And we had to put some ground rules in. And then I had to say, all right, we gotta do something different. We gotta have a tryout or something. Your horse, one, has to be able to carry the flag, and two, get along with other horses. Because we had horses that were kicking each other and stuff like that, and that didn't go over very well. But we found the riders, and that's pretty much how it started. It
Yeah.
was just a lot of fun.
How did you open it up to other riders outside of Main Attraction?
We just an ad on Facebook. Hey, anybody want to ride on the drill team for Day of the Cowboy? And then everybody's like, I do. And then it's like, okay, but you have to carry a flag. Your horse has to be able to carry the flag, and your horse has to get along with other horses. So work on that, and then come and try out. So I would advertise that ahead of time, and then, I would just, be adamant about make sure you can carry a flag.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of riders would be practicing, or they'd be practicing the whole year, and then they'd come up and try it. And sometimes, even though your horse can carry a flag, it didn't always like to do it with 40 other riders.
It doesn't also mean that it's going to want to carry a flag running all the way around an arena with the full crowd, the vendors, and
Absolutely.
all the noise.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it didn't always work, but, you know, we did the best we can.
Yeah.
And we got quite a few riders. And with insurances, as the years went on and the insurances started getting more sticky about the rates going up and stuff like that, I cut it down. Instead of trying to get 40 riders, then we cut it down to, let's see if we can get like, you know, a good 15 to 20 riders.
Yes.
And then that was a little more manageable, and then less accidents and a little easier to find.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So now when you're running your drill practices, can you share a little bit about what those drill practices are run from start to finish? Meaning in the very beginning, you are getting your drill riders together, but when you have a new one come in, I love how you've always managed your team in a way that it's safe for them to come in and learn how to run a drill or run
and
a
for
flag.
those of you that don't know, Mariko's speaking with experience because she is also part of the Day of the Cowboy drill team.
It was actually, they are the ones who introduced me to drill.
Yeah. So when she speaks with knowledge on the situation.
Yeah. I'd love to share a little bit about how your practices are run. So, and really just sharing with the community and letting them know how safe it is for them to be invited into the arena, not knowing what to expect, whether or not their horse is going to do a drill. So I'd love to kind of walk through what those practices look like.
well, first thing I do is when someone new comes along, it could be 1 or 2 or 3 other people. I will take my seasoned riders and we will help them out, and we'll start out in small little groups, and then we'll do little practice drills. We'll do little drills where we'll go down in pairs, and we might do a couple pass-throughs, and we do this without the flag first. And first we just want to see how good the rider can ride, and can the horse interact with other horses without getting upset? Can it go in and out as we do pass-throughs and stuff without getting upset? And we first started as a walk. If they can do it at a walk, then we go to the trot. And then we might even go to the canter, because sometimes we've had some maneuvers where we would go into the canter. But mostly we keep it at a trot just because we have so many new riders and we want to keep everything in control. And so, but as long as they can do all 3 gaits in a controlled manner, and they're doing very well with the seasoned riders, then we can start bringing in other riders, and then we'll introduce the flag. And so, okay, if you can do that at a walk, trot, canter, can you do it with a flag now? And then we'll just continue on, and then if they do that very well, then it's like, okay, we were doing really good. You can join the team and see how that goes. And then, of course, there's introducing music. Not every horse, when they hear the loudspeakers come on with music, or even somebody speaking in a loudspeaker, are going to handle that very well. Some of them kind of freak out. So we'll usually start with the music down really low, and then we'll slowly turn it up each time we practice. And so we don't just blast it.
Yes.
You know. And so, and that's pretty much, it's just start at the beginning and work your way up. And that way, if we see a horse that's kind of like freaking out, or a rider, then we'll stop what we're doing and we'll take a couple steps backwards. You know, we'll like, okay, let's step back and let's go back to the walk. Maybe you're not quite ready at the trot. And I usually give people a few tries, a few practices. And a lot of times you'll see the horse get better and better at each practice. And sometimes they just don't get better. And if they're not getting better, then I'm like, probably not going to work this year. Maybe try coming back next year. Because we have limited practices with the DOC, the Day of the Cowboy. Usually we start up in May.
Yeah.
And then we have to be ready by June or July. So if they can't get it within a few practices, then I say try just, go home and practice and keep trying and then come back next year.
Yeah.
And see if you can do it.
Yeah. I love how safe you make it for people to come in and inviting, and, you get them to a point where it's not like you came in once, it didn't work out and you had to leave. It's you came in once, tried, you introduce other tactics, you bring in less riders, more riders. I've actually experienced that myself being on your team. The first year I remember coming in, there was a young girl on the team who the horse, every time we turned towards the sunset, because that sunset at like 7:00 in the Ingalls Event Center is completely blinding. You just can't see.
I feel like horse.
Yes, her horse is blind. And so you can't see. And I just remember having a memory of this young gal who was riding, and her horse, every time at the specific hour, it was just having a really challenging time.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. And you would stop and we would say, okay, let's wait. And she was so disappointed, but then she came back and you encouraged her to continue coming back and continue trying.
Yes.
And I remember thinking to myself, that was really special because she was young and impressionable. And I think it was really neat that there was like this community resource that was teaching this young girl not to give up on something. And like that she had people there that were going to embrace her situation and not make her feel embarrassed about what was happening. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to give everybody a chance.
Yeah.
Because this is something fun to do. This is a community thing that's fun to do. And most of these riders, they're not professional drill riders. Mm-hmm. And so, but this gives them a chance to come on out and perform in front of people, a crowd, and not everybody gets a chance to do that. Not everybody can join a professional drill team, and they don't have the time and the commitment or the horse to do that. And so this just gives the average cowboy or cowgirl a chance to come out and play with their horse and
be in a rodeo.
Yeah, be in a rodeo or
and
a play
do a
day
cowboy thing. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because how many little kids dreamed when they were little? I was one of them when I used to sit in the stands and I would see, the drill team, or I would see the barrel racers, and I'd go, oh man, I want to be in a rodeo. And it's like, this gives a chance for them to actually do it. And that's very rewarding.
And that's very rare. There is no other teams or anybody else that does anything like that, where they just allow people an opportunity to participate in something so fun, and that's really cool. And it takes a good leader and a good drill captain to be able to run something like that. So we are very grateful that you have this rodeo and you do so much great things with it and give everyone an opportunity.
Thank you.
What does it take for like preparing for when it comes to the rodeo? Because as a captain, you do more than just like, okay, I'm gonna get myself and my horse ready. You got to make sure yourself. Everybody.
What I usually tell them is, take your horse out. Take them to local little shows where they can hear the announcer.
That's a good idea.
And they can see other horses around. Enter the show if you want. Whether it's a Gymkhana show or whatever. That's how I train most of my horses, is in Gymkhana shows. Because then you get the announcer, announcing, and then you get all the horses, and you got horses running in there.
And the music.
And so go to your local shows. Enter a parade.
That's a great idea.
Anything you can do to get your horse out there, and of course practice with your flag at home, but then you can also get with friends where you get practice with the flags, and you can go practice going in and out and stuff like that. That's all these things that you can do before you come to
that's a great idea.
Cowboy.
I think it's one of those unique things also when you think about all of the other celebrations that are going on across the nation. You speak about things about how, they're hiring professional rodeo companies to come in, or professional drill teams to come in, or professional racers are coming in. And really what this celebration is about is celebrating the actual day of the cowboy and cowgirls.
Yes.
And so it really is I think when I think about Day of the Cowboy for myself and this particular drill team, I think about my own experience. I think about my girlfriend's experience that's coming onto the drill team this year, and how this is like the one event that is like the main event that is allowing her to experience what being a cowgirl is in a different way. It's just such a neat thing that you get to have that rewarding experience to lead these people into these passions. That celebrate that lifestyle and that culture.
And to see the smile on their faces.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it. I mean, when we get done performing, the smile on everybody's faces, and they're like, we did it. That is such a high to me.
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding. It's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for them. They got to do it.
Yes.
And then they're like, I want to do it again next year.
You're like, well, come on back.
Yeah. And we have a lot of returning writers that come back.
You do.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised that you don't extend it beyond Day of the Cowboy, that you leave it just for this one event.
Well, it's because it's the one event that the city supplies.
Yes.
And it's hard to get people to commit.
Mm-hmm.
I ran a drill team for over 15 years, and I saw people come and go. And if you're going to do it professionally, it takes so much commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't miss practices. If you miss practices, you're screwing up the other rider, because then their position gets out of whack.
Wow.
And so
It's unfair to the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's very unfair. So it's such a commitment. And a lot of people, they've got busy lives, you know, they got families, or they got things that come up, you know, whether they get sick or doctor appointment, or somebody in their family gets sick, or they got vacations that have been planned for a year. Stuff comes up, and I totally understand it, but it's hard. It's hard if you want to like do it professionally. But something like this once a year, being able to give the community a chance to come out and do this. And yeah, I still want the commitment. I still need you to be at practice. It's only one day a week. And if someone can't make it to practice, it's not the end of the world. But as you well know, when someone misses, it does mess up the whole line.
Yes.
Because then it's like,
got
oh, well, where do
pockets.
I ride now? Because there's a space here. So I
Yes.
just move everybody up. And they're like, well, I'm not used to that position.
Yes.
And so it kind of messes up the whole dynamic of the drill. But this is kind of a low-key thing. I don't try to stress these riders out, because they're not professionals, and I want them just to have fun.
Yeah.
And just relax.
Yeah. So this year is an all-girls team, but historically, this has been a co-ed team.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's been a
Yes.
co-ed team.
Guys did drill?
And that would be my husband, John Larock. He's been on the team, for years.
And he's not riding this year?
He's not riding this year because, unfortunately, he got in a bad horse accident.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he broke 8 ribs.
Oh,
Oh,
my gosh.
no.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But he's okay. He's surviving. He's much better now, but he's not ready. He's just going to skip drill this year. But I'm sure he'll be back next year,
Oh, yeah.
now that he has a new horse.
He's the ultimate horse husband.
Yes.
The ultimate horse husband. In fact, there's many horse husbands that come in and fill in some of those gaps sometimes when when there's not a rider.
There has
So,
been time,
Yeah.
because my team, the main attraction, we used to do drill team competitions. And there has been times where John has had to step in and compete. I have to say, we were at a competition in LA at the LA Equestrian Center, and we noticed another team where a husband had to fill in, and he had the exact same shirt on
You know what?
as
Go
the whole
him.
team.
Go him.
And it had fringe and bling on
Love
it.
it.
And
Yes.
I was like, you go, guy.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that is
That is a guy that loves his woman.
Yes, absolutely.
And supports his team, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So you
Love
got to
that.
do what you got to do. Actually, I think John really likes it. You might not admit it.
Well, what man would not want to be around 16
Exactly.
women? I mean, come on, please.
He gets all those women around him. So.
Yes, that's
It
so
is
funny.
really fun, though.
It
is fun.
It
Yeah.
is. It's fun.
So we didn't really get a chance to talk a lot about it, but like, what is drill? So people here know that we've done drill, but for the average viewer that's watching us, they might not actually know what drill is. So do you want to maybe paint a visual about what drill is?
I call it dancing on horseback, is what I call it. You're doing maneuvers. You're usually in pairs, or sometimes you might be in fours, or sometimes you might be single file, and you're just basically you're going to music, and to me it feels like I'm dancing on horseback when I'm doing it. That's how that's how I can relate to it.
Right.
And you're just basically usually a time, you're usually out there for about 5 to 6 minutes, and you're just usually loping around, and you're doing pass-throughs, and you might be doing circles. You're just doing all kinds of different maneuvers. Another way you can think of it is think of a high school or college drill team where they'd go out there with their pom-poms and they would do a whole routine with music. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, but you're doing it on horseback.
And what was the first time you ever saw drill? And what drew you to becoming someone who did drill?
I was living in Ramona, California, and I saw a drill team called the Rainbow Riders. And they drilled for a long time, and I saw them, and they were all dressed in these rainbow outfits. And I was at a rodeo, and I saw them, and then I realized they're in my hometown. And I thought, gosh, that looks like a lot of fun. So I just went over there to practice one day and asked if I could join the team, and they said yes. And so I tried out, and that's how it started about 30 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
And I was on that team for about 5 years, and then took a break for a while, and then that's when I was on the Cowgirl Way. I was on that team for about 5 years. From there, I started the Main Attraction.
That's awesome.
So, and still going. Main Attraction's pretty much kind of retired now, so that's why there's still a few of us out there, and they're actually on the Day of the Cowboy team. And so, but pretty much it's the Day of the Cowboy now. So
I do have to say that Main Attraction is a pretty cool name.
Yes.
Yeah, me and my friend Sherry, we started the team, Sherry Sedovy, and we were sitting down one day, and I was looking through a magazine, and I saw a picture, a painting, and it said Main Attraction on it. And I went, oh my God. That's a good catch. I like that. That's a catchy name. And I said, how about Main Attraction? We're the Main Attraction. And Sherry goes, that's a perfect name because we are the Main Attraction.
I love that.
Oh, that's so funny.
Spelled M-A-N-E.
I know. I like that. I like
Yes.
That is so cute.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's so neat. Well, I know that I have been so appreciative of all of your time and coming in to let us interview you for Day of the Cowboy. I just love all of your experience and everything that you've brought into the team and everything you've offered to the girls and boys on the team.
Yes.
And also everything that you've done with the city. I think it's really great work. I love that, again, I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but it really does mean something to have the community involvement, to have the volunteers come in. I watch people who come in, like you said, repeat people every year, and it's like they say those things. They say the part of the reason why I'm on this team is because I can have this one day a year where I get to participate in this, and I think it's so great that they get that experience. So
and it's so much fun.
Yes.
And rewarding. And another good thing is you really get to bond with your horse.
Yes.
Because you're spending so much time, practicing, and it's just a good bonding experience with your horse.
Yeah, I'm so glad I get all this bonding time with Capriccio.
I know, right?
You know what?
We're still going to have to go hand in hand for that one because...
Oh, no, honey, he's mine.
Oh, no.
They're all fighting over your horse.
I know, right?
Oh, all her horses are no longer her horses.
I gather that. Yeah.
I love that everybody loves them, though.
Yeah.
But only in Norco would you ever be able to participate in something so awesome. So I think it's really cool that you do this.
Thank you so much.
Thank Norco for allowing us
enjoy
to
every
have
minute of
too.
it. Hey, girls, let's cinch this up.
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll tell you when.
Thank you guys for watching our 21st episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And also Facebook.
Make sure you keep it classy, sassy, and a little bit badassy.
And make sure to always clean your tack.
Square bills, flatbeds, clothesline sunsets, sky blue barn red. Wind chimes front porch, good dogs wood floors, work boots open doors, and miles of John Deere green. Freedom far as I can see.